The night of the Golden Star Awards glimmers with perfection, flashbulbs, designer gowns, and Lena Hart's radiant smile stealing every camera's attention. She stands on stage, clutching her trophy as the crowd roars her name. Yet behind that practiced grace, her eyes betray an emptiness only she can feel. Every cheer echoes like a reminder of her loneliness. The applause feels hollow, not because she doesn't appreciate it, but because it's for an illusion. The version of Lena the world created, not the woman trapped inside the fame she once dreamed of. When she returns to her penthouse, silence replaces the screaming fans. The city lights glitter beyond the glass walls, but they can't reach her. As Lena wipes away her makeup, she also strips away her disguise, the confident, untouchable persona she's forced to live. Her reflection looks foreign, tired eyes, trembling lips, and a sadness that fame can't conceal. They love her, not me, she whispers, realizing that the world adores her shadow while forgetting the soul behind it. For the first time, she feels painfully ordinary, and somehow, that truth feels freeing. Later, fate intervenes when her car stalls in a quiet, unglamorous neighborhood. The man who helps her, Evan Reed, a humble mechanic, doesn't recognize her. He treats her with calm respect, not awe. His indifference feels strangely refreshing, even intimate. When he tells her to rest more than she works, his words pierce deeper than any award speech. It's the first time someone sees her not as Lena Hart, the star, but as a tired woman who needs to breathe. In that fleeting encounter, she rediscovers something real, the peace of simply being human. Lena Hart's life has never truly belonged to her. From the moment her mother saw potential in her beauty, she was molded into a product, a brand designed to shine, not feel. At 13, she was acting on sets instead of playing in parks, learning to smile on cue and cry when told. Every decision, from her diet to her relationships, was calculated for publicity. Her fame grew, but so did her emptiness. Surrounded by stylists, managers, and fans, Lena lived in a gilded cage where love was replaced by contracts, and authenticity was traded for applause. Her relationship with Cole Rivers began as another performance. To the public, they were Hollywood's golden couple, glamorous, enviable, perfect. Behind closed doors, Cole was controlling and cruel. A man who reminded Lena that her career was his creation. "Without me, you'd still be nothing," he'd say, every word a leash tightening around her spirit. She smiled through interviews, red carpets, and premieres, pretending love where fear lived. He was her director both on and off the screen, dictating her every move. The world saw romance. Lena lived in quiet submission disguised as success. Across town, Evan Reed's life couldn't be more different. He inherited his father's modest auto shop and a quiet sense of responsibility. After losing both parents, he became guardian to his teenage sister, Maya. His world, his purpose. He spends his days repairing engines and his nights reading or cooking simple meals. To him, fame is noise, something distant and irrelevant. Meanwhile, Lena's perfect image begins to crumble. Panic attacks strike before every event, her breathing shallow under the weight of expectation. When private photos leak, tabloids label her unstable, alone, humiliated. She remembers Evan, the man who saw her, not her fame. Haunted by loneliness and craving something real, Lena drives late at night to the quiet neighborhood where Evan's auto shop sits. She tells herself it's about her car, but her heart knows better. She just wants to see him again. When Evan looks up and recognizes her, his expression stays calm, unaffected. No cameras, no admiration, just a man doing his job. He treats her like anyone else, and the simplicity of it disarms her. She lingers, watching him work, breathing in the scent of oil and steel instead of perfume and fame. For once, she feels human again. Days pass, and Lena keeps finding excuses to return. She starts helping around the shop, passing tools, sweeping floors, laughing with Maid over shared sandwiches. There's no makeup, no rehearsed lines, no spotlight. Evan doesn't flatter her or ask questions about her life. He listens, genuinely, when she speaks. Lena rediscovers the warmth of normal moments, the clinking of wrenches, the sound of laughter, the comfort of belonging somewhere simple. Each visit chips away at her polished mask, revealing a woman who's been lost beneath layers of fame. For the first time in years, her laughter sounds real. But peace never lasts long in a world that feeds on spectacle. One evening, as the sun sets and Lena laughs beside Evan, a paparazzi drone hovers unseen. The next morning, tabloids explode with headlines: Lena Hart's secret lover, mechanic in the mix. Her image floods every screen, twisting truth into scandal. Cole erupts in fury, accusing her of betrayal, threatening her career. To protect Evan and Maya from the chaos, Lena denies everything publicly, but her heart aches with guilt, because deep down, she knows the truth she can't admit on camera. She's finally falling for him. As the scandal spreads, Cole's mask of charm crumbles completely. Behind closed doors, he becomes colder, more possessive. He waves a new movie contract in Lena's face, 5 more years of control disguised as opportunity. Sign it, he demands, his voice sharp with threat. You owe your career to me. Every word feels like a chain tightening. Meanwhile, Evan's quiet world is dragged into chaos. Strangers flood his shop, mocking him online. One morning, he finds graffiti on the walls, cruel words sprayed in red. Maya cries after being bullied at school. The cost of knowing Lena grows unbearable. Guilt crushes Lena, and she sneaks away from her guarded mansion to find Evan. When she apologizes through tears, he doesn't scold her, only says gently, "You don't owe me an apology, but maybe you owe yourself honesty." His words strike deeper than any insult Cole ever hurled. For the first time, Lena starts questioning everything: the mirror, the brand, the life she's been performing. She stops filtering her photos, refuses fake captions her PR team writes, and speaks plainly in interviews. The public is divided. Some call her brave, others say broken. But for once, she feels free. Her mother and Cole, desperate to maintain control, join forces to gaslight her. "You're ruining everything," they hiss. "People will forget you." But Lena no longer fears being forgotten. She fears never being known. She cries, not out of defeat, but because the illusion is finally shattering. Standing before her reflection, stripped of makeup and lies, she whispers, "Who am I without them?" Later, when she confides in Evan, he meets her gaze and says softly, "Then start from here. From you." It's not advice. It's liberation. For the first time, Lena begins to believe she deserves her own story. Just as Lena begins to reclaim pieces of herself, Cole strikes back in the cruelest way. A private video, filmed without her consent, leaks online. In it, Lena is seen in her penthouse, sobbing and shouting, "I hate this life." Her mascara streaks down her face. Her voice cracks with exhaustion. Cole intended to destroy her, to brand her as unstable. But the plan backfires spectacularly. Instead of ridicule, the world responds with empathy. Social media floods with messages of support. She's human. She's brave. She's finally real. For the first time, the mask shatters and the world sees Lena, not the star. Cole, furious at losing control, corners her again with threats. He hisses that if she dares walk away, he'll ruin Evan and Maya. The old Lena, the obedient, fearful one, might have caved, but not now. Instead of running, she calls a press conference. Cameras flash as she walks onto the stage, trembling yet determined. The world expects denial or spin. Instead, Lena tells the truth, every painful, humiliating piece of it. She exposes Cole's manipulation, her mother's emotional control, and the years she spent performing a lie. "You loved a version of me that doesn't exist," she says. Her voice breaks, her makeup smudges, but her words pierce deeper than perfection ever could. The internet erupts. Millions share her raw confession, calling it the most real moment in Hollywood. Cole is dropped from his studio contract within hours, his reputation crumbling under the weight of his cruelty. Lena's mother releases a cold statement of disappointment, still clinging to the illusion of control. But Lena feels nothing. Not shame, not fear, just a quiet sense of release. The world may finally see her flaws, but she no longer hides. For the first time, Lena stands unmasked and free, months after the chaos. Lena's world looks nothing like it once did, and that's exactly how she wants it. She rents a small house near the ocean, where mornings are quiet and the air smells of salt instead of perfume. She spends her days volunteering at a community center, teaching acting to young girls who remind her of herself, except now. She helps them find their voices before anyone can take them away. Her lessons aren't about fame, but truth. She tells them, the world doesn't need another perfect face. It needs women brave enough to be real. Across town, Evan's auto shop hums with life again. The vandalism has stopped, replaced by loyal customers who admire his quiet integrity. Maya, once shaken by the scandal, is thriving, preparing for college, her laughter filling the shop. Lena visits often, no longer hiding behind sunglasses or excuses. She brings homemade sandwiches, jokes about her terrible driving, and sits on the workbench while Evan fixes cars. There's no tension, no pretending, just comfort. In the simplicity of his world, she finds peace. With him and Maya, she belongs, not as a celebrity, but as herself, raw, imperfect, whole. One golden evening, they work side by side, hands greasy, hair messy, laughter echoing under the open garage roof. Evan looks at her, a teasing smile in his eyes. "So, the goddess finally learned to get dirty," he says. Lena wipes oil from her cheek, smiling softly. "She was never a goddess," she replies. "Just a girl who forgot she could be loved this way." The moment is quiet, but full. No spotlight, no cameras, only truth. When he leans in and kisses her, it isn't cinematic or dramatic. It's real. Two people finally free to love without performance. The city hasn't changed. Bright lights, crowded streets, and billboards that still flash Lena Hart's flawless face. But she has. Walking through the chaos unnoticed, she feels lighter than ever. No bodyguards, no flashing cameras, just the sound of her footsteps and the hum of life around her. She passes a giant poster of herself smiling, the woman of the year, but doesn't look up. That image no longer owns her. For the first time, she doesn't feel smaller than her fame or haunted by her reflection. She simply feels human, alive in a world that finally feels real. She stops at a quiet corner cafe, the kind of place where no one recognizes her, and orders coffee with a soft smile. Pulling a pen from her bag, she scribbles a small note on a napkin to the girl who thought she had to be perfect. "You're allowed to be real." She folds it once and leaves it on the table, a silent message for whoever comes next. It's not for fans or headlines. It's for every girl who's ever lost herself trying to be loved. A goodbye to her old self and a blessing to the new one. As Lena steps out into the soft morning light, Evan is waiting, hands in his pockets, his familiar smile grounding her more than any fame ever did. They start walking together. No cameras, no scripts. Just two souls who've survived the noise and found peace in simplicity. The city moves around them, but for once, Lena doesn't feel watched. She feels seen. The billboard versions of her may live on, but they're just shadows now. The story ends not with applause, but with quiet truth. The world called her a goddess, but he loved her without makeup.